it's Mona here at Craft Klatch. Today we're doing more resin art, but we're going to play around with a technique that I thought might be fun. We'll see if it works out as I'm hoping. So in the spirit of arts and crafts, we are going to try something a little bit different. If you've ever used alcohol inks, they're beautiful. So we're going to try something a little bit different. I'm going to just show you, if you haven't worked with it, just so you can see what the alcohol ink looks like. Now this will just sort of soak right into the canvas and move around. And because it can be kind of expensive, we're going to try something a little bit different. Sharpies. If you go online, you'll find people will make their own alcohol inks with rubbing alcohol and Sharpies and put it in a container, and it's a lot of work. And we're going to let this just kind of soak in and do its thing. And in the meantime, I'm going to just take my Sharpie and I just want different shades of blue on about half of the canvas. So if you're wondering if I know where I'm going with this, I don't. I kind of have an idea in my head of where I'm hoping it will go. Right, and you don't need to have it fully covered. Now I have a paintbrush, and I have a cup, and I have some rubbing alcohol. Now I'm going to dip my brush in the rubbing alcohol, and I'm just going to start moving it along the canvas. And it smears your Sharpie very similar to what the alcohol ink would look like. And it blends it with the alcohol ink. And this might just give us another layer of depth with when we're working with the resins, because that's what we're going to do. We're going to top this with some resins. So I cleaned the brush out and got some fresh alcohol and went down to the next color here. Now you can't even tell it was ever just Sharpie marker. We're going to let this dry, mix about 8 ounces of resin, probably we'll need 10 to 11 ounces to cover this well. Okay, I have a bunch of different colors mixed, and I'll kind of go through them as I'm pouring them. I'm going to start with the blues. I have a transparent blue, a bright blue, and those are both Resin Obsession colors, and then I did a pigment powder blue. So I'm going to just start pouring them over the blue. So now I'm going to start at the other end, and I have some white pigment, and that was mixed, that was the Resin Obsession pigment. I threw a little bit of the Macro Pearl white in there so it wouldn't just be white, even though it is. Hopefully I'll have just a hint of shimmer in there. Okay, then I'm going to use the Macro Pearl alone that I mixed and put it over as well. Kind of run in between there. I'm going to take just a little bit of this and work it into here too. Just a little bit. Alright, and the rest will come back up here. Okay, now I'm going to use this yellow ambery color. I'm going to move that here. And I have this brown too, but don't worry, we're not going to just leave it necessarily completely brown. Now, before I get too far along, I have these flakes. I have these cellophane flakes that I put into just the clear, and they're like a blue cellophane flake. And I'm going to run that right along here. Okay, I'm going to take some more of the transparent blue, catch it here. And I'm going to take some more of that Macro Pearl white and work it in all over here. I'm going to go over the yellow and over the brown, because the brown is very brown, and I knew it would be, and I wanted to cut that down a little bit. Now I'm going to take my tools and I'm going to start moving this stuff around a little bit. And you're going to want a clean tool for every section. Okay, and then I still have a little more. And if you have a little more left, just keep adding it because there's always a little bit left in the bottom of the cup. So I was kind of hoping this might look a little bit like land and sea collide. I don't know if I'm going to accomplish that, but we will definitely see. When it's all on here, and maybe it's not exactly like you want it yet, and that's cool, I'm going to take my torch and I'm going to run it along, and that sort of moves things along as well. Now, in addition to this stuff, I also wanted to add in just a little bit of this gold leaf that has been sitting around my craft room for years. So I'm going to take little flecks and add it right into there. Maybe not a ton, just where I feel like maybe it needs it a little bit. And then we're going to just let this sit for a minimum of 12 hours and let it all cure. Here it is all finished, and the cellophane actually gives it a little bit of a dimensional effect, which is kind of what I expected. And it almost looks like, I don't know what you see, but to me it almost looks like the surf kicking up. This is sort of oceany and sort of horizony. A lot of times I'll post these ahead of time on Instagram and Facebook so you can see them, and I often ask for help in naming them. So be sure to, you can leave it down in the comments below, but be sure to subscribe over on Facebook and Instagram so that you can see them ahead of time and maybe help me come up with a name. I'm going to bring this a little closer so you can see it. They always turn out so cool, and almost always they're going to completely surprise you, which is a good thing. Be sure to let me know what you think of it in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't yet, remember to subscribe so you don't miss a thing. And if you are creating resin art, be sure to tag me when you post it on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter or anywhere. And I would love to see it, and use this hashtag. And I will definitely see you next time, you guys. Remember, life is too short not to shimmer, so grab your glue gun and your glitter. Stay safe, get out there, be creative, do your thing, try some resin art.